अस्सलाम वालेकुम। प्रोग्राम एम्बेसी रोड में खुश आमदीद। नाज़रीन, आज हमारे इस प्रोग्राम में हमारे मेहमान हैं पाकिस्तान में रोमानिया के सफ़ीर जनाब निकोलाई गोया, और उनसे हम गुफ्तगू करेंगे पाकिस्तान और रोमानिया के बाहमी ताल्लुकात के हवाले से। पाकिस्तान और रोमानिया के दरमियान सफ़ारती ताल्लुकात गुज़श्ता 5 दहाइयों से ज़्यादा तवील अरसे पर मुहीत हैं और दोनों ममालिक में मुख्तलिफ़ शोबों में ताउन जारी है। रोमानिया ने 60 और 70 की दहाई में पाकिस्तान में बड़े पैमाने पर सरमायाकारी भी की, और अब भी रोमानिया और पाकिस्तान के दरमियान माशी और तजारती शोबों में ताल्लुकात जो हैं उनमें वुसअत आती जा रही है। इन्हीं उमूर के बारे में हम पाकिस्तान में रोमानिया के सफ़ीर से गुफ्तगू करेंगे और उनसे पूछेंगे कि क्या इम्कानात हैं पाकिस्तान और रोमानिया के ताल्लुकात को मुस्तक़बिल में मज़ीद मुस्तहकम करने के लिए। Thank you, Ambassador, for joining us in this program.
Thank you so much. I am very grateful to you. Thank you so much for giving me this unique opportunity to speak to the Waqt TV viewers. First of all, let me congratulate your viewers on the holy month of Ramadan.
Thank you.
And I hope that this holy month of Ramadan will bring you peace and happiness and good health. And this is going to be a discussions about the Romanian and Romania-Pakistan relationship, about Romania, how Romania sees Pakistan, how Pakistan sees Romania. And I be trying to get into your homes very candid, as much as candid as I can. I will be trying to let aside the diplomatic language and try to reach your heart with a very, very sincere words. I've been here for now 6 months, and I'm relatively new in this country. I can say from the very beginning, and I'm enjoying every day I spend in Pakistan. I found an extremely interesting country, a great country, an extremely important country, not only in the region but in the world at large, with people which are amazing people, extremely welcoming people, extremely educated. And this is why I'm, again, very happy to be the representative of my country in Pakistan. Romania, as you know, is an European country, is been in the European Union now for 10 years, since 1st of January 2007. And this is the biggest achievement in terms of foreign policy of Romania, maybe for the last 50 years, along with our membership into NATO. In this capacity of European country, member of the European Union, member of NATO, Romania attaches a great importance to the developmental relation with Pakistan. And we established relationship with Pakistan long time ago, 50 and some years ago, in 1964. And ever since we have been developing extremely good relationship, very steady.
But Ambassador, since then, 1964, a long way has been covered by both countries. Could you give us your vision as to how Pakistan and Romania can further enhance their relationship in this day and age? This is a new age, digital age and information technology age. So in this age, the diplomacy is also a different ball game. So how do you look at relations between Romania and Pakistan?
Indeed, we have established relations back in 1964, and ever since we've been steadily growing in political relationship, economic relationship, cultural relationship, and every other field of relationship we can imagine between two countries like Romania and Pakistan. We have been developing political dialogue in a very constructive way. We've been developing economic relationship with Pakistan. I should mention that we supported economy of Pakistan by building refineries in Karachi, cement factories in Kohat and Lasbela in Saudi, and also a line of assembly tractors in somewhere near Islamabad. And these very objectives which have been established with Romanian cooperation shows the deepness, the depths of the relationship between Romania and Pakistan. And ever since has been growing, as I said, and now, as you mentioned, it is a completely new era in political diplomacy, in diplomacy in the world. We are now facing difficult times, we should say. We are facing a lot of challenges, and I will only mention the terrorism. We are now in the era where terrorism is hitting very hard and it's compromising. It's compromising even the comfort of the people. It's compromising a lot of.
You mentioned the challenge of terrorism. It is indeed a global challenge. It's not confined to one country. You think how this challenge of terrorism could be overcome, how we can face this challenge, and ultimately, if possible, we can eliminate the threat of terrorism from the entire face of this earth?
One of the biggest mistakes which is somehow made in some publication, in some public opinion, is associating terrorism with Islam, which is not true. It's an absolute horrible mistake, because Islam is a religion of peace, a religion of understanding between people. So that's why no matter the country is an Islamic country or a Christian country, the terrorism can be overcome, can be fought, can be fight only with cooperation. So we have to praise the contribution of Pakistan in fighting terrorism. Since I've been here, I realized that Pakistan is one of the most foremost, the front runner in fighting terrorism. There is a lot, the toll paid by Pakistan is very high, and we have to praise Pakistan for sacrificing lives of the people in fighting terrorism. Unfortunately, before coming here, I read a lot of materials, a lot of analysis about Pakistan, and which somehow distorted the reality in Pakistan. So I put high on my agenda trying to correct this situation and explaining that Pakistan...
The perception.
The perception. The
yes.
deficit of perception is very deep. So I put on my agenda as an ambassador of Romania and an ambassador of the European Union the efforts to try to correct this perception. The image, the yes. deficit of image of Pakistan, and explaining the people that Pakistan is one of the countries which is fighting very hard the terrorism.
Ambassador, the unfortunate part is that in West, particularly in Europe and US, Canada, other Western countries, this perception that terrorists are associated with Islam. Undoubtedly, some of the organizations like Al-Qaeda and IS and Daesh, they are a product of Islamic world. But do you think that this increasing and this widening gap between West and the Islamic world can be overcome? And what could be done? What steps could be taken to actually bridge this gap?
I shouldn't say that there is a gap between the Islamic world and the West. I will only say that the public perception in West and in some other countries is a little bit distorted about Islam. But in real politicians in West, they know that Islam cannot be associated with the terrorism. And most of the Western governments are embarking upon cooperating with you and some other countries in fighting terrorism. But this deficit of perception, deficit of image can be fight and correct by explaining the people, but showing that Islam does not produce terrorism. Islam does not produce extremism. It's only some people who are fighting for their agenda, which is a very egoistic and selfish agenda, and they are victims of Islam. Islam is not terrorism.
There is a view by some experts that one of the reasons, primary reasons of this terrorism and extremism is poverty, ignorance, economic backwardness. If we are able to overcome these issues, probably we will be able to reduce extremism, terrorism, and the mindset which produces extremism.
This is my opinion too. This is an opinion which is very correct, very just. Poverty, lack of education, economic backgrounds are the main factors of terrorism. And once we are taking collaborated measures to fight this, to correct this situation, I think that a very important success against terrorism will be recorded. So we need cooperation. We need cooperation not only in fighting terrorism on the ground, but we need cooperation in economic terms. We need cooperation in education. We need cooperation in explaining the people the values of humanity, because it's a matter of fact terrorism is attacking not Western values, not Islamic countries. Terrorism is attacking the most fundamental values of humanity. Humanity is this we are talking about. Humanity is now in jeopardy, attacked by the terrorism. So we have to unite our forces in fighting terrorism by cooperating in economic and trying to reduce as much as possible the differences in economic development between the Western countries and some countries in the so-called third world. We have to embark upon education programs in Islamic countries, not only in Islamic countries, but in all countries in the world, so that we have to, since the terrorism is a global phenomenon,
yes,
we have to fight it globally. We have to fight it with all our means, and this includes, as you said, economic cooperation, cultural cooperation,
but Ambassador,
education.
There's another view also, in Afghanistan, from where an attack was launched on the United States on 9/11 many years back. Some people thought that this menace of terrorism could be eliminated through military means or through the use of force. But I think that objective has not been achieved. So now the view is that some people are subscribing to this view that it is through the dialogue and through non-military means that we will be able to control it.
Well, yes. In fact, non-military means, we are always propagating and promoting non-military means in trying to fight with terrorism. But sometimes, in some moments in time, you need also very firm actions against the terrorist organization, which again is not Islam. Again, I would say many times this sentence is important for defining terrorism as a military and propagating terror against civilians, innocent civilians, but this is not Islam. So sometimes you need to show to terrorism that you have the possibility to fight them. But the most important thing is to cooperate in non-military activities, to cooperate, as I said, economically, educationally, culturally, to join forces in terms of awakening the people that terrorism is not by far a means to correct the situation, which is we are witnessing now in the world at large, a situation which is not the happiest, the justice, the most correct way of being things, but we have to correct from the basis the situation. We have to act in an economic way, in cultural, as I said, and fight terrorism to the base, from the roots.
Thank you, Ambassador. We'll take a short break and then we will continue this discussion. नाज़रीन, एक मुख्तसर ब्रेक लेते हैं. ब्रेक से वापसी के बाद हम पाकिस्तान में रोमानिया के सफ़ीर से गुफ्तगू जारी रखेंगे. पाकिस्तान और हमारी बातचीत जारी है पाकिस्तान में रोमानिया के सफ़ीर से, और वो हमें बता रहे हैं कि किस तरह दहशत गर्दी एक आलमी मसला है और इसको किस तरह हम निमट सकते हैं. इसके लिए ताउन चाहिए मईशत के शोबों में, तालीम में, सकाफ़त में और दूसरे शोबों में ताउन से हम दहशत गर्दी पर काबू पा सकते हैं. Ambassador, coming to Pakistan-Romania relations, you mentioned in your earlier remarks that Romania invested in Pakistan in cement, oil refinery and other sectors. So is this investment still continuing, or it will take a different form or shape in future?
We have to speak about the dynamism of Romanian economy. As you know, Romania had passed in early 19th through a very complex process of privatizing the economy, passing from
centralized economy
from
to
a centralized
privatized
communist economy,
yes,
very inefficient economy, to an open market economy, to a liberal economy, and this was not a very easy process. This was a very difficult process. So to make the story short, we can say that now we are in the process of finalizing the process of reconfiguring the economy and finding a new identity for Romanian economy. Starting from this point, we are newcomers in investments, global economy. So we are, of course, thinking of continuing the process of investment eventually we might have in mind also establishing joint venture with Pakistan companies, investing in some of the the fields of Pakistan economy. I have in mind, for instance, this huge project of CPEC, which is an extremely important project for Pakistan and for the region at large. And now we are in the process, we are analyzing, we are trying to assess how we can fit in this process.
You can also be a contributor to the CPEC project.
This is what we are thinking of. We are now trying to analyze and to see how we can fit in the CPEC project. How can we be a part of the CPEC project? It's, the decision has not been taken yet, but I'm sure that if we find some opportunities, some chances to become a part, either in the carrying out some project or as subcontractors, we'll be there in the CPEC.
In Romania, you are a very accomplished diplomat, an experienced one. What is your assessment of CPEC? You know, people in Pakistan, our policymakers and important people, they are saying it is a game changer for Pakistan and for the region. What is your own take or assessment?
Well, I don't know if this is a game changer. It's very difficult to say, and it's very difficult even to identify the meaning of a game changer. We are speaking of a game changer when it is about political environment, when we are speaking about the political and security environment of the region, which I think is not the case. I rather prefer to analyze and to see the CPEC project from the economic point of view. And from the economic point of view, from the interconnectivity point of view, CPEC is a huge and very important project because it will give the chance not only to Pakistan, but to all the countries in the region and in not very remote, also Europe, to point of view. And this is my intention, to limit my discourse from the economic point of view. It's a very good project. It's a very good project, and I repeat, we will be trying to identify the possibilities, the chances, opportunities to become a part of it.
Master, earlier in 70s and 60s, when you were still under the influence of communism and state-owned economy was there in Romania, Romania invested in Pakistan in the cement sector, set up cement industry, and in Kohat, as you have mentioned. And you are also investing in big industry in Pakistan. But I think the trend has changed now, and you have some projects in mind where you could invest in Pakistan.
Yes, indeed, we've been investing in important Las Bela, in Kohat, and refineries. It was the period in Romania when the economy was somehow forcibly developed and tried to expand to new horizons in Asia, in Africa, in some other countries. And I should say, objectively, that are very good projects. As I said, Romania is now having a new identity. It's a newcomer in the investments on foreign markets now. And we have in mind in investing in, of course, in Pakistan. And what I've been discussing with some ministers, some of your executives, and some of you are responsible for economy in Pakistan, we can have in mind developing projects in agriculture, projects in automobile industry, and some pharmaceutical projects in tractor factory again, assembly. We have in, but this, I guess, it's maybe for medium term, not for short term.
Yes, but when it comes to agriculture sector, Pakistan has been having the facility of Romania in producing tractors, and also what are the prospects of Romania assisting Pakistan in increasing the farm production, because Pakistan has a huge population and it needs food security.
We had a discussion with the Minister of Food Security some months ago, and we concluded with him that we need to have an agreement between the Food Security Ministry and our Agriculture Ministry so to establish the steps we have to take for enlarging the scope of cooperation in agriculture. And we are still in the process of figure out how this document will be. Romanian side already proposed to the food security ministry a draft and also discussions for concluding this document. And I think that other than tractors manufacturing, we could have in mind, because of our experience in agricultural fields, we can have some joint venture in agriculture, some experimental farms, some taking into custody some plots of land in Pakistan and working together there. And there are a lot of, only our imagination can limit the project we can have in mind. And this is very high, I can say very high on my agenda to promote this kind of projects.
Ambassador, have you been to some of the agricultural research institute in Pakistan, PARC, Pakistan Agriculture Research Council, and others? They are doing a lot of job. I mean, they have produced new seeds of various crops. And are you satisfied with the level of agriculture in Pakistan, particularly the technology that we are using? Some people think that it is an outdated, obsolete technology.
Well, you can never be perfectly satisfied with the level of scientific research and application in agriculture. Agriculture is a domain, is a field which is progressing very fastly. We are speaking about intensive cultivation of land. I'm not very familiar with the level of Pakistani agriculture, but I was speaking with some people which are experts in this field, and I know that we have recorded good successes in developing new brands of plants and also in raising the animals in some farms. So yes, we can have very good exchange of experience with our farmers, with our Minister of Agriculture, and we have to conjugate our efforts for working together and even in researching together, because Pakistan, I know, is very, from the point of view of agriculture, is a very generous country. You have very good arable land, you have very good climate for agriculture. Unlike us, we are having a very heavy winters there.
Yes.
So I'm thinking of inviting or trying to bring some specialists, Romanian experts, to Pakistan to talk to your experts and to find together, to identify together the domain, the very concrete fields of cooperation in
Pakistan, Ambassador, is known for its textile industry, and our mainstay is textile. You know, almost 60% of Pakistan's exports constitute the textile products. So is there a possibility or prospect that Pakistan and Romania can collaborate or start joint ventures in the field of textile?
I know textile of Pakistan are very famous all over the world. We have in Romania, and shops are full of Pakistani textiles, and the customers are buying in big quantities of textile from Pakistan because of good quality and because of very naturally way of working on textile. And now is the era of naturally grown textiles. And yeah, it's on my agenda to put in contact people from Romania and Pakistan to try to establish joint venture in textile. And in this respect, Pakistan is much more developed than us. So maybe we can think of making joint venture with the Romanian investments for improving the quantity and the quality of products, and to try to find third countries' markets to export our products.
Yes. You talked about joint ventures between Pakistan and Romania, and you must have spoken to our industrialists or members of the Chambers of Commerce and Industry on this subject. So what kind of joint ventures are you visualizing?
It is agriculture, as I said, and very recently I spoke with some people which are dealing in poultry, and we've been deciding that it's high time for him and this industrialist to go to Romania to see how are our possibilities to get into joint venture with them in poultry industry and also in agriculture, and I think also in automobile industry. We have to think, because this is, well, we are, as you said at the beginning of our conversation, we are in an era of very dynamic development, and we are assisting now, we are witnessing the car industry, especially of electrical cars, and we have to think about this kind of joint ventures.
You know, Pakistani market is dominated, auto market is dominated by Japanese. You know, three big giants who are operating in Pakistan, producing cars for Pakistani people, they are Japanese. The Koreans also tried their hand in Pakistan, but they were not successful. So have you studied the market from automobile point of view, from the industry, auto industry could be set up in Pakistan?
Yes, Japan is a very important country from the point of view of car industry, automobile industry. Japan is the most developed, actually. It's, I think it's the number one in as far as the number of cars produced every year, and they are very present in Europe too. They are very present in Romania too. So it's a very big competitor when it comes to work in automobile industry. But we are having great successes in producing our own brand of car, which is Dacia, the name of Dacia, and we are exporting all over Europe, North Africa, and some of the Asian countries, even in Canada and the United States. We are last year we have exported more than 600,000, which is a good number of. I think we are in the top 10 European countries in producing automobiles. So we have to think about the prospects, the perspectives of coming here, seeing the market, and trying to establish, to identify the way of establishing a joint venture in automobile industry.
And which other areas, the joint ventures? You also spoke about pharmaceuticals. What are the prospects for setting up a joint venture in pharmaceutical industry?
Everything is at the beginning. Everything is at the very beginning. I have been here for 6 months, and I just familiarized myself with the economic environment here, with the political environment, and I hope that during my tenure here, we will have at least 1 or 2 projects in respect of joint ventures in pharmaceutical, or in car industry, or in agriculture, or in any other possible poultry, any other possible field. At this moment, I have to say that I'm not at all pleased with the level of trade volume between Romania and Pakistan, because this is far below the potential, the huge potential of the 2 countries. So we have to work very hard in order to improve the situation, to correct the situation, and to export more and to import more from Pakistan.
What is the volume of trade between the 2 countries these days?
We reached, in 2014, we reached almost 200 millions. But now, in last year, we have around 100 million both ways, and it's a very rare situation for Romania. We are on the positive side. We are plus. We are exporting 70% and import 30% of this figure from Pakistan. We have. My personal ambition is to increase this volume of trade maybe 4 or 5 folds in the years to come.
That's great. That will be a great
It's a very ambitious plan. I hope I can make it.
Yes. We'll take another short break. नाज़रीन, एक मुख्तसर ब्रेक लेते हैं. ब्रेक से वापसी के बाद हम पाकिस्तान में रोमानिया के सफ़ीर से मज़ीद गुफ्तगू करेंगे पाकिस्तान और रोमानिया के मुस्तक़बिल के ताल्लुक़ात के हवाले. हमारी गुफ्तगू जारी है पाकिस्तान में रोमानिया के सफ़ीर से, और वो हमें बता रहे हैं कि पाकिस्तान और रोमानिया के दरमियान जॉइंट वेंचर्स, मुश्तरका मंसूबे जो हैं वो शुरू करने के इम्कानात बहुत ज़्यादा है, और उन्होंने बताया है कि ज़राअत में और अद्वियात साजी में ख़ास तौर पर दोनों मालिक में जॉइंट वेंचर्स शुरू किए जा सकते हैं. Ambassador, when you spoke earlier about Pakistan, Romania's cooperation in the field of politics, political arena, so what's happening there?
I should say from the very beginning that we have excellent relations from the political point of view. We have long-standing relationship based on mutual trust and within the framework of very, very result-oriented dialogue. We have dialogue, we have permanent dialogue with our Pakistani friends, our with Pakistani political establishment, with the Pakistani government, foreign ministry. And I should say that we have almost identical position when it comes to analyzing, judging the international situation. And we have been supporting each other. Romania supported Pakistan for Pakistan's bid to become non-permanent member of the Security Council in 2011. And we are pretty sure that Pakistan will support Romanian bid for becoming non-permanent member of the Security Council in 2019. And starting from this, I'm very happy to say that we don't need more incentive for political dialogue. We have every year consultation at the level of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We have exchange of visits. We have very good parliamentarian relationship. We have excellent relations in international organizations. We have relations at the level of Ministry of Education, Cultural Ministry, Sports. And this is a field where we are very pleased to. Since unlike in economic cooperation, I'm very pleased with the political relation with Pakistan. And this can be considered as being an extremely good framework base for developing the economic relationship, because there is no any hurdle between Romania and Pakistan in political relationship.
And in education, you also mentioned this education sector. And what kind of cooperation do you visualize or can be possible between Romania and Pakistan in the field of education?
We have exchange of students. We have exchange of cultural assemblies. We have exchange of experience. We have exchange of scientific delegations. We recently have a delegation from Camera, which visited Romania, that is having both educational, because it was an exchange of information, scientific research, and economic, because they are also trying to identify some possibilities of cooperation in aeronautical industry. And I have to work a little bit more on the scholarships issue from the Pakistani
students.
For students, yeah. And I'm confident that in the years ahead, we'll have more Pakistani students studying in Romania. We have a long tradition in accommodating students from Pakistan. And in my discussion, my talks with the leadership of your foreign ministry, we concluded that we need to have more exchange of students, Romanian students here, because you have a vast cultural environment here. And we have a lot to learn from Pakistan in this respect. And as I said, we have a very good educational system that can accommodate
what
Pakistani
kind of
students.
what disciplines or subjects Pakistani students are interested in going to Romania and learning from in the higher education of Romania?
It's mostly medicine, engineering. But they also studied sociology, they studied psychology, law, but mostly medicine,
engineering.
And engineering. Yes. Because these are extremely important sectors for...
You had a meeting yesterday with our Minister for Defense Production. A report has been published in the papers today. What are the prospects of cooperation in the field of defense between the two countries?
Yes, indeed. I had a meeting yesterday with Mr. Arana Tanvir. He's an old friend of Romania. He visited Romania several times, and he is very positive and constructive when it comes to cooperation in the field of defense industry. We are thinking of we are in the process of signing an agreement in defense production. And since we are living in a world when the cooperation in military terms is very much needed, since we don't have any political hurdles with Pakistan, we are also trying to develop the relations in defense production with Pakistan in many areas, including helicopters, trucks, military trucks. We have now in the process a contract for trucks, for prime movers, for helicopters, for even submarines. We are thinking about at the very beginning of discussions. So it's good prospect. It's nothing finalized yet, but we have good prospects for further cooperation in the
When
defense
it comes
production.
to training of people, the military people or Air Force people or the naval staff, going from Pakistan to train themselves in Romania and Romanians coming to Pakistan for the training in the defense areas, is there any possibility?
We are encouraging. We're encouraging these practices. We have some experts from Canberra in Romania before. They have been trained in helicopter and aviation piloting. We also have experts in Romania making the maintenance on Pakistani helicopters. So it's also the field of very good prospects for the cooperation in the future. And but again, these are the objectives, these are the plan. This is belonging to a roadmap for the future cooperation. And we think that step by step we will be successful.
The information technology is another very important field. In today's world, IT is very important, plays a very significant role in the development of economies. What are the chances of cooperation in the field of IT?
In the field of IT, there is also, yes, a very generous domain, very generous field. We are rather developed in the IT industry. I will only mention that we are ranking the fourth in the world as far as the internet speed is concerned. We are very proud of this. And we haven't started yet the discussion with Pakistani side and Pakistani friends concerning this cooperation. But this is also in our agenda for the period to come.
Pakistan has been, Pakistan and the European Union, they have signed a very important agreement, GSP Plus. And under that agreement, Pakistan has been given some concessions. Pakistan is exporting a lot of products to the European market. What is your reading of this? Is Pakistan successful in enhancing its exports to European Union countries?
With the European Union, we have two kind of agreements. This is GS Plus, and we have also 5-year engagement plan, which will be to be renewed this year. And Romania is a very staunch supporter of Pakistan GSP Plus, and also signing the 5 years engagement plan. And I think it's beneficial for Pakistan, those two agreements, especially GSP Plus. And I hope that will bear fruits for the future, and there will be an increase in Pakistan export to European Union, because the European Union is in very much need of Pakistani products. And as far as we have the analysis and approach to the European Union, we think that Pakistan is being quite successful in economic relationship with the European Union as a whole, and with each country or the most important country.
But there are some conditions also linked or attached to this GSP Plus, because Pakistan has to carry out some obligations in the field of human rights, in the field of improving democratic institutions, etc. So there, Romania is supporting Pakistan, or what is your stance?
My view is that Pakistan has registered progresses in establishing the state of law, in improving the democracy. I can see democracy in Pakistan, and human rights also has been some improvement, but at the same time, more efforts must be done to continue the process of democratization, to continue the process of human rights. And also, I should say that signing the readmission agreement with the European Union as far as the immigrants are concerned is a very important, is an extremely important component of the relations between Pakistan and the European Union. So while I'm saying that Pakistan is a democratic country, is a democratic economy, is a liberal economy, is a market economy, efforts should be continued for further improving the democracy, the human rights, and all the aspects which are concerning a democracy in progress.
Ambassador, the 5-year engagement plan which you are talking about, and it is going to be a strategic plan? Because previously, I think Pakistan and the European Union have 5-year plan, which is a plan of cooperation between the two sides. But it's now being enhanced to the level of strategic plan. So you think that it's going to work? It is going to be viable?
I think it's viable. I think it's viable if both sides are fulfilling their obligations. And I think that Pakistan has the will to fulfill obligation. And with a little more effort, Pakistan will be able to fulfill obligation and to be fully qualified for this 5 years engagement plan. I think Pakistan is ready to continue the cooperation with the European Union according to the 5 years engagement plan. And I think that efforts will be made in Pakistan for improving all the components which are needed.
थैंक यू एम्बेसडर। नाज़रीन, आज इस प्रोग्राम में आपने पाकिस्तान में रोमानिया के सफ़ीर जनाब निकोलाई गोया से गुफ्तगू सुनी उनकी। उन्होंने पाकिस्तान और रोमानिया के ताल्लुकात के हवाले से इस पस मंज़र का भी बताया है कि किस तरह पाकिस्तान और रोमानिया के दरमियान माजी में ताल्लुकात रहे हैं और रोमानिया ने पाकिस्तान में बड़े पैमाने पर सरमायाकारी की है। उन्होंने दहशत गर्दी के मसले से निपटने पर बात की है और ताउन पर जोर दिया है ताकि इस मसले से निपटा जा सके। पाकिस्तान और रोमानिया में मुस्तक़बिल में दिफा के शोबे में, तालीम के शोबे में, ज़राअत के शोबे में और मुख्तलिफ़ शोबों में किस तरह ताउन को बढ़ाया जा सकता है, इस पर उन्होंने तफसील से बात की है। इसी के साथ ये प्रोग्राम ख़त्म होता है। जावेद सिद्दीक़ को इजाज़त दीजिए। खुदा हाफ़िज़। Thank you very much. It's a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.